All right, here it is. Advice for parents. I'm gonna try to make this video short. And why am I making this video? Because, well, off the last video, I kind of talked a little bit about at the tail end. But no, when I was also getting coffee before at the same shop, I witnessed, this happens all the time, but I just witnessed it. It was a stroller with two kids, a dad and a mom. And whatever, the two kids are just doing whatever. They have no idea. They're babies. They're in the stroller. They don't know anything. They're just here like, oh, I'm getting taken care of. They're observing. They don't know what this shit is. Most likely kids are looking at toys. They don't know how to describe it with toys, but they definitely see all this nature and they're just like, what? And all this stuff here. And so what's important here is that this dad, first of all, had no idea what he was doing. He was sort of like going back and forth between the kids in the stroller and then the back of the stroller, and like he just looked clueless, like, how do you do this? And obviously if you're giving off that type of energy, right, then you haven't learned about God. And then you had kids before you learned about God. So there's a big thing. You're gonna have kids, you gotta learn about God. And if you know about the simulation and you know about toys, and you've explored it for your own self and come up with your own realizations that God has given you from these teachings, then have kids. Because then these kids are going to be more pure and they're going to be able to do this too. So whatever. But so then God's telling me, oh, this is the part of the simulation that I had for this family. Crazy. And so then I see the mom come up with her sunglasses and her phone, taking pictures. Then like, she tells the husband, please put on sunglasses on one of the kids. So the kid gets that dad gets the little sunglasses, puts on the kid, and then they take more pictures. And she's like, say whatever, cheese. I don't know what she was doing. So, you know, God's telling me now, this is what a lot of parents do. This is what it's my trick. It's my trick. Because kids are so infantile. They're so, is that infantile? Is that a word? I've never used that word before. They're cute. They're just cute dogs too. That's why a lot of people get dogs, you know, they need cuteness in their life. No, everything should be actually neutralized. Like, I'm very cute, you know? But it's crazy around here with the cuteness, because the thing is, God has actually in this universe created everything to be cute. And I just sneezed, and God tells me that I've learned over time that when I sneeze, that's something very profound. So what I just said, that everything in this universe is actually very cute here. Everything is crazy cute here, because actually even in all the stuff that we see that is really big over here, it's very small in comparison to like the entire creation here. It is crazy. There's so much variation. And so, advice for parents, you have to take a neutral perspective on life, which is going with God, because God is still, and God is the creator here. And see, once you have kids, parents, you've done your job. You've pretty much done your job. Now, you've done the thing that God likes you to do, get all crazy sexy. And then parents, when they have their kids, they kind of, they raise their kids in a way that they actually form ideas and like things, activities that they think is supposed to go well with the raising of their children. And no, it's not. They're just, their job is they're children of God. Parents forget they're children of God, and then they raise their kids in sort of authoritative, weird, made up ways that aren't with God, and understandably so, because I think when you have little people in front of you, it's like you just want to make sure that you do the best for them. But in doing the best for them, you can't control things. So, but even if you are still part of the simulation, God still has your back. That's how good he is. But if parents can know the simulation, if parents can know about how everything's a toy here in the universe, kids will start to know that everyone will just be more loving. Like, it will just be more like, let's look at the things the way they are here. Let's look at toys the way they are. Let's not take life so seriously. Let's focus more on the life within us, the breath. Let's focus on being grateful for the food that we eat, not parents saying, I've given you this and I've given you that, therefore there's an ultimatum here. So it don't matter. But see, I don't know if I'll have kids or not. I think I will. I've imagined myself as a dad, but like, see, I think there's soul families here too. And the soul families can kind of like intermingle and take care of each other. See, we've focused so much here on 2 people taking care of perhaps 5 kids. Crazy. What if we have, why can't we go the other way? What if we have 5, 6 parents taking care of a bunch of kids that we all care about, that have come from the soul family, however that works? Like, these are options here, I'm telling you, that very godly stuff. And that's pretty much it. Advice for parents: staying neutral, not trying to control things, not trying to make things up. Like, take pictures of your kids, and those kids, the little babies, they did not care. Guaranteed. They did not care that they were getting their pictures taken and their sunglasses. No, eventually they'll get to a certain age, perhaps, if those parents keep doing that, which they probably will, where the kids will start to think that's what life is about, and then they'll get older and they'll take their phones out and they'll do the same thing, and they'll hang out with their friends and they'll take pictures and stuff. And listen, pictures are great. I do a lot of Instagram stuff, and I've gotten to the point where it's just creative and God tells me to do it, and the way I do Instagram's a little bit rebellious, you know, and that's part of the artist that I am. It's been part of my path. Instagram's been like essential to, like, honestly, some like happiness in my life, and just like documenting what I've done here in a creative way. So there's something to be said about this stuff, but I've done this stuff for like the benefit of my own career and with God, and the way God has kind of outlined my path. Instagram's involved, YouTube's involved, and it's just important, I think, for parents to understand that the bubbliness of raising kids is weird and devilish and nasty, and going to the other side, like going to the darker side, to be honest. Like, even in that like happiness, like, no. And God preaches to me so much about the opposites here, and we forget about the opposites. The opposites are like super important. Like, there's times where you have to be sort of firm and almost nasty to people to like go with God. Whereas a lot of people will think in the church that, no, it's always about love thy neighbor. You can do this sort of energy and be sort of in this firm, like, please don't bother me energy, and actually be right with God. And that's it. I'll leave it at that. And God bless Earth Cafe.